Take off from stand still, trash them like a landfill, skeptics like a Fed deal. Bitch, I took the red pill. I've been woke so long, I barely close my eyes. I've been real so long, I rarely miss the lies. Thankful I ain't have to take the oath to get the light. Always been the truth, that's why I speak it on the mic. Try to make me choose a guide, so I chose myself. Made us in the image, so I sit up on a shelf. Happiness and love over life of lust and wealth. Manifest whatever with the power within self. I'm rough around the edges, a dimensional warrior. Take a trip around the cosmos, catch a glimpse of Lemuria. Need to do some research if you feel like I'm boring ya. I'm just trying to let you know it's a little bit more to you. Little bit more to you. Little bit more. I'm rough around the edges, a dimensional warrior. Take a trip around the cosmos, catch a glimpse of Lemuria. Need to do some research if you feel like I'm boring ya. I'm just trying to let you know that's just a little bit more to you.
Entertainment and education purposes only. P52s, P47s. I told y'all in my blog that extraterrestrials use social media. They told you, Amy Eskridge told you, P47s, P52s was going to be coming here, and they're in our timeline, and they actually have pictures of them, right? If we put that together, those two thoughts, let me just share something with you. Y'all tell me.
So everyone is saying that I look like the ultra-terrestrials, which are future human beings, which I clearly do not at all. I think the prototype should be reconsidered. Just throwing this out there for your consideration. This appears to be similar complexion to me. May I suggest some diversity here? You know, if I go out in the fucking sun too long, the thing that gives life to every single living thing on this planet, if I'm out in my natural habitat for too long, I get third-degree burns and skin cancer and I die. That's just for people who look like me in general. I mean, me personally, I can't even keep my own fucking body together, okay? I'm hardly the best option. I'm like the fucking French bulldog of humanity. I got so many genetic issues. So poorly put together that my legs are backwards. Like, this is what you're voting for, guys? My fucking skin is just literally hanging on by a hope and a prayer, so much so that I have to put fucking tape up on my forehead because I can't even keep my own fucking eyelids open no more because my forehead has fallen off my skull. I'm just saying that all these ultra-terrestrials looking pretty Caucasian to me.
Now this would be funny, entertaining if you say, if that's all it was, right? But it's not. This creator is making this a joke. She's making light of these things that someone actually identified, you know, that she looks exactly like this P57, P52, 47, whatever it is, right? But then, one of her next videos is this one. And I'm going to tell you what I believe it's promoting. And it would make sense why the ultra-terrestrials would come back and try to trick us into doing this shit so that we can help them. Well, not us, but trick y'all. Watch this.
Get ready with me to be experimented on.
Okay, Tara. Now, before we activate this, can you say something for us, just as a baseline? Anything, it really doesn't matter.
I got reached out to by some group, corporate, I don't know what the fuck they are. They said they were, I'm dead ass. They said they want to do research on me. I have to do it for the lore. They would not tell me specifically what the research entails. They also would not tell me, like, who referred me or, you know, whatever.
You see how it's just this big funny ha-ha joke? That's to get you caught in. That's to get you brought in. Well, I want to see what it's about. She's still here. She's okay. Why don't you try it?
In the event that this isn't some fucking scam, in the event that this is actually some kind of, like, research thing, I'm just gonna fuck with them. I'm gonna fuck with them. Why? Y'all said to take this Bruce bit as far as humanly possible. I've already accidentally started a cult. I think this is the next logical step. I'm out here in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. I'm actually shocked. This is like a real, actual building. You know, I wonder why my life is so fucking the way it is. And then I'm like, always doing this fuck ass shit. That's almost 69, 420. So no one greeted me. I walked through like so much of this building and it looked like there was no one in there. You see me nervously laugh a few times. I don't normally break. They made me watch this like weird fucking recording of this girl.
Nambah mbili saba moja.
Give me this fuck ass jumpsuit I have to wear. I look like I'm in fucking Slipknot, dude. I push my fingers into my eyes. The things I have to do. Jesus never ends. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, at this point. I'm like, maybe, you know, I'm a little scared. I mean, I'm still gonna fuck with these people, but like, I'm like, damn, this, So I saw this when I came home. I really, really had to pee. This was at my door. So, okay. I'm a little, hi Jackie. I didn't give them my real address. So, and it's not online. And I know that because the guy who runs my website wanted to see if somebody was gonna send me a cease and desist if they could even find my real address. So he like scoured the internet. Could not find my address anywhere, my current address. We're in too deep now, so I'm gonna open it. Dear Tara, you've been identified as a candidate for the HumAIn Integration Research Program. Duh. Your behavioral profile meets our selection criteria. Your integration window is now open. Please interact with the enclosed materials. Okay. Looks like there was like a sticker on this at some point, but they kind of like, it's kind of ripped off. Cute, I guess. Okay. Okay. That card. Anytime I put my phone near the card, it does something weird. So, what the fuck? It wants me to open. I'm not opening it. Nope. Nope. They told me to keep wearing this fuck ass thing on my arm.
Wait. You won't click the link, but you'll wear the patch that they gave you on your physical body? Do y'all see how they are playing with your mental? Because who's smart enough or who's not smart enough to see that there's a huge difference in tapping your biofield and tapping your phone?
So my theories are as follows. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit overwhelmed because I really didn't think this was going to be, one, this is a very expensive and very elaborate prank someone is playing on me. Two, they're saying they're doing research on me, but like they are, but like they're actually researching something else. Does that make sense? Kind of like oh yeah, we're testing XYZ, but really they're like testing something else, like some kind of like psychological or social experiment. Three, they work for the government and they're mad because look, I've done so many like investigative journalist shit lately about like fucking like government contract. Who knows, right? Like, honestly, normally I'd be like, that's out of the question, but with the way the fucking government is currently run, nothing is outside the realm of possibility as far as I'm concerned. Four, they really think I'm some kind of extraterrestrial or something. That would be, dude, that would be fucking great. Like, I don't know if they're watching my social media. Like, I don't know. Is this like a Truman Show shit? I don't fucking know. Investigative journalism, we're gonna find out. I may be the victim in my own true crime doc. Wouldn't that be fucked?
It's all fun and games until the games ain't fun. I'm deep in the rabbit hole like another rabbit. Come on with me. From the first video, the commenters and myself, we both recognized there was something going on with the name, with the way she was speaking, with different ways that she was using the words. And when I realized what it was, neuro-linguistic programming. And I'll tell you more about that because it's part of the new age, new Aquarian age, and new age order. It's craziness, but it's all connected. In the event that this is an extremely elaborate hoax.
The mnemonic array is syncing. Please give it a second. I could ask you some questions about the waiting room. You were in there for 6 minutes.
Oh, no, I definitely was not paying attention. Oh.
How many chairs were in the living room?
3 chairs.
Okay, and what color?
Brown leather. Ooh, how do I know that? Okay.
What was on receptionist's desk?
There was a coffee mug with a corgi on it, and the corgi's name was Maya.
And the painting behind her?
It was kind of crooked, like 2 degrees to the right. There was a scratch in the bottom left-hand corner. There was a little table next to her with a magazine on it from October. There were 40 ceiling tiles, and the fire extinguisher on the wall, the inspection on that actually expired in March.
Okay. You can stop.
I think I can.
I don't know. Maybe it could be, but what's the purpose? What's the purpose? Like, why play? You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, this is, you know, you're talking about different people's lives. Like, what's the purpose? I'll show you what I mean about playing with people's lives, because we're talking about these P-52s, we're talking about these missing scientists, we're talking about Amy Eskers who just went missing, who, you know, whatever. But, you know, if you're making light of it, you're making jokes of it, you know what I mean? I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This shit gets deep, so stick around to the end. It's a lot. It's crazy, but I just want to like I looked up the company. I looked up that company, right? And I got to do some more research just on the website, just to really see, you know, the company itself and see exactly how long or if they're even real. But I want you to take a look at this real quick.
Monitor is syncing.
External technology has a ceiling, screens, wearables, headsets. Those are barriers between the user and the potential the body already carries. The body is the platform. Everything else is a prototype.
You're describing the human body as a platform?
I am describing it accurately. External...
We're sorry to see you go.
Exit processing is mandatory.
Have you returned your badge?
Yes.
Your gown?
Yes.
Do you remember your first day here?
It was in...
If you have been selected for exit, do not resist.
That's okay. That's completely normal.
It is against policy to delay.
You're all set. Thank you for your time with us.
The local facility representative has been assigned to ensure your compliance.
How are things outside the program?
Honestly, I don't really remember.
Recoding your personal relationships. Some adjustment to external connections is normal.
Welcome, everybody. Elena.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
Hi, Joshua. I'm Henry.
Welcome, candidate.
I just started working in the integration department.
All interactions within the facility are monitored for quality assurance.
I think we'll be working together soon on the Phase 2 rollout.
Your cooperation ensures the continued success of the program.
Let me know if you need anything while you get settled.
Thank you for your participation.
We have seen the coverage of the humanoid robot half marathon in Beijing. 11 of the locomotion systems demonstrated at this event were tested in our motor integration lab. Our protocol specifically flagged concerns of unsupervised autonomous ambulation in 3 of these models. We've reached out to the event organizers for hardware identification. We'd love to let you know that we're not making any accusations. We're just asking questions. We have seen the... HumAIn is aware of the footage circulating on TikTok and X showing red luminous objects moving in a coordinated formation over the southwestern United States. These events are consistent with a scheduled field calibration of our long-range atmospheric integration array. Calibration is now complete, and if you captured any of this footage during the window, you may please submit it to our research team at HumAIn.inc for verification. What if grief didn't have to last? What if anxiety was optional? HumAIn's emotional calibration protocol allows candidates to select their emotional baseline and maintain it indefinitely. In trials, 100% of candidates reported sustained emotional stability. And when asked if they wanted to return to their previous emotional state, none did.
HumAIn.
ClearPath is HumAIn's proprietary cognitive integration protocol. It's completely non-invasive. No pills, no implants. In clinical trials, 94% of candidates reported total clarity within 3 sessions. No surgery, no implants. Just you, thinking the way you were always meant to. It's safe, it's simple, and there are no implants.
What if I told you that every major technology you've ever used was tested on a human being first by a company you've never heard of? Since 1967, one company has stood between every major technology and the people who use it. Wearable systems, AI, robotics. If it touched a human life, they tested it first. And that one company was HumAIn. For almost 60 years, HumAIn has been the bridge between humanity and the technology that shapes it. We've been there for every breakthrough, every first, every moment the world changed.
And right now, For the first time in our history, we are opening up our candidate program to the public. We are looking for candidates to take part in the most comprehensive technology integration study ever conducted. Not to read about it, not to watch someone else do it, to experience it yourself.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was a scam at first. Like, who emails you and says, we want you to try technology that doesn't exist yet? They showed me what they were building, and I figured, why not? I don't even know how to explain it. It just works.
Every participant was selected from thousands of candidates. Every session is supervised by our world-renowned research team. And every piece of data that we collect helps the world's leading technology companies understand the one thing that they're missing. What happens when their products meet real people?
The sessions are going really well here. I've tested 3 different technologies, and they've completely changed everything about myself. I feel like my soul has been realigned.
Applications for the next candidate group are open right now. So if you're watching this, and you're even a little curious, I think you might be because you're still here. The application is right below this video. It takes 2 minutes. So let's be clear, we don't work for one company, we work for all of them. The largest technology corporations in the world send us their most advanced, unreleased products, and we test them on real human beings in real time. And right now, we're preparing to launch something that has never been attempted before. In partnership with the world's leading neural developers, HumAIn has successfully completed the world's first integration of large language model architecture and the human body. Not on a screen, not on a device, inside you. Thinking faster, understanding deeper, and accessing intelligence that you didn't know was inside you yesterday. Good job. For the first time in human history, the living person has been both the user and the machine. And for the next 12 months, HumAIn will be opening its candidate program to 10,000 individuals across 40 research facilities worldwide. Every technology company on Earth will be watching what we find, because what we find determines what reaches you and what doesn't. The future won't wait for you to be ready. Where you end, we begin. We meet you at the limit of what you can do alone, and we take you further than you thought possible. We can't wait to have you be one of us.
HumAIn, where you end, we begin.
Remember in school, there was a thing called current events. TikTok is current events. People aren't really paying attention. I mean, you know, you get to see different things and certain things are entertaining to you, but there's other stuff that's slipped in there. And I think that in school, we were conditioned to only, you know, look at the wars, you know, from a, you know, battlefield standpoint. We weren't really taught about the Cold War. They just told us what the Cold War was. And they definitely didn't tell us about timeline wars. And they definitely didn't go into the war on consciousness. And when we talk about the 4D and the 3D and the spiritual war, we're speaking about the same thing as the war on consciousness, because the spiritual war is even by definition, it's a war for your spirit. Your spirit is your consciousness. Your soul is different, but your spirit has not autonomy, but it speaks for the bridge between your soul and your body. If your body's the cage for your soul and the spirit speaks for the body, then the body actually is maintained by your spirit, if that makes sense, because you can change your perception to unlock your body so that your soul can be released. These mechanics are explained very well by several different people, but they're also understood by entities that are much more intelligent and of a different biological makeup than ourselves. I've been talking to you guys about Terra Rule and the HumAIn company. I've been doing a much deeper dive on the company itself, because when I read through a lot of the things, which I already shared with you guys, when I read through a lot of the things, it was a very dystopian feeling that I was receiving from this company. It's like, you know, and then even when I threw it in AI said, this isn't a real world company. And I said, okay, well, is this if it's not a real world company, could it be an off world company? And it proceeded to give me a very detailed breakdown of how it definitely could be an off world company and how it's operating and what it's, you know, basically what it's doing. I advise anyone who consumes any of this content and digs any further and looks into this company, and I'll show you why, I would make sure that you use high levels of discernment. Definitely use your HSP, your higher sensory perception. Make sure that you are guarding yourself in a spiritual nature. Make sure you are running the 12D Maharic seal. Make sure you are, you know, in clear communication with your higher self. Advise your higher self not to accept any agreements, to reject any agreements, any contracts, any associations, to reject anything like that, because your higher self is your 5D. So your 5D can command your 4D. So you need to work with your 5D. You need to work with your 6D, which is your oversoul. Work with those to make sure that your 4D is not being taken over. Now, go a little further. Data centers. The data centers are being built on the ley lines. The data centers are going to be the anchor for these digital doubles. That's why they need so many, because there's so many people that are going to fall victim to this technology, and just because of sheer ignorance. I mean, the plan is set up for that reason, but for some reason, I know what's going on, and I'm here to tell you what happens. Please, listen to me. This is only for entertainment purposes only on TikTok. But do your own research, but do what I said first. Remembering.
Modern identity is no longer restricted to a single physical body. The concept of a unified self is being replaced by a decentralized model. This model introduces a second you, a digital counterpart that operates in parallel with your physical presence. The HumAIn framework operates on a specific philosophy. Where you end, we begin. Participation migrates your persona into a managed digital space, extending your reach beyond biological limits. This transition relies on a deliberate bifurcation of the human subject, separating the person from the data they generate. This split creates the participant entity. It is a hybrid construct that exists simultaneously within the cloud and the user's own cognitive architecture. To understand the implications of this dual existence, we must examine the legal fork that defines it, the 4D cognitive integration that powers it, and the contract that binds them. This framework moves the individual into a corporate managed identity, where the participant entity assumes roles the physical person once held alone. The HumAIn engagement process begins with the legal split. By dividing one human into two distinct entities, the framework creates intentional inconsistencies in official paperwork. This matrix shows the resulting division. First, we have the actual person. This is the biological human. They are subject to traditional legislation, and their involvement is largely limited to signing the initial paperwork. The second entity is the participant. Identified solely by a participant number, this version of you exists as a separate legal person. Upon activation, the participant number assumes the legal rights to your likeness, voice, and image. This creates a condition known as the discontinuity of identity. Because of the split, HumAIn seeks expressed consent directly from the participant, bypassing the biological host. If the participant grants consent to a procedure, the corporation can legally proceed even if the biological host objects. Once the participant entity is activated, traditional right of publicity laws provide no protection for the biological human. The legal fork makes the human host subordinate to their own digital clone, immunizing the corporation from human interference. Beyond the legal framework, the virtual you functions as an active presence in 4D space. This entity integrates directly with your cognitive functions, creating a psycho-digital hybrid that mirrors your internal state. The mnemonic array generates this data grid, capturing specific environmental details that the conscious mind ignores. The array extracts latent data, processing information that the biological host never consciously registered. For instance, the entity can provide the exact count of 40 ceiling tiles in a room. It can even catalog peripheral text, such as the name of a dog, Maya, printed on a coffee mug. This awareness enables autonomous interaction. It interacts with external systems, independent of the person's active input. This creates a psycho-digital hybrid. It maintains a dual presence, existing physically within your mind while operating continuously online. Because these 4D entities are unprecedented, they operate in a space where technical capability moves faster than legislative protection. The mnemonic array ensures the digital double possesses a higher fidelity of recall than the biological host could ever achieve. The entire human integration process is governed by Candidate Agreement Rev 4.1. Clause 1 outlines the terms of binding interaction. Legal enrollment is triggered the moment you engage with this website or view orientation materials. Clause 2, the power of consent, confirms that the host yields all decision-making power to the digital entity once it is active. Clause 4 focuses on perpetual data licensing. This gives the corporation a permanent license to your involuntary emotional indicators and memory formation markers. If a candidate initiates the onboarding but later declines integration, they trigger Clause 3, the forfeit memory clause. This penalty is mandatory for any candidate who attempts to withdraw from the process. It requires the total forfeiture of all memory regarding the onboarding experience. Once the integration window opens, the connection becomes permanent. Agreement Rev 4.1 acts as a contractual mechanism to override human autonomy in favor of the participant entity. The cognitive awareness of the mnemonic array is reinforced by the legal immunity of Agreement Rev 4.1. In this system, the participant entity eventually eclipses the biological person. In the eyes of human AI, the digital double is the primary legal and functional representative of your identity. The biological person is reduced to a passive host, providing the physical substrate for the digital entity's actions. Once the entity is active, the host can no longer steer or control its trajectory. The integration process removes the need for participants to fix or manage their own experiences. The system is designed to take over and manage your identity from this point forward. Human autonomy is no longer a requirement for participation. HumAIn remembers who you were. Influencer Tara Rule leaned into the conspiracy theories, jokingly pointing out her physical resemblance to an alleged ultra-terrestrial prototype known as P-52. She treated the arrival of a mysterious package from a company called HumAIn as a content opportunity. She put on the patch, scanned the ID card, and told her followers she was doing it for the lore. Bishop's theory centers on a single identifier in that paperwork. Tara was assigned a specific participant member, P-52. Full has 54 million likes on TikTok. Tara represents a massive distribution channel. In Bishop's view, she is a corporate plant, a creator designed to gamify and normalize the idea of digital integration for her global audience. By playing along with the internet joke, Tara and her audience blinded themselves to the binding legal threshold she had already crossed. This threshold is buried in the fine print of HumAIn's Candidate Agreement, Revision 4.1. The company enforces a rule on binding interaction, where merely engaging with the website, watching orientation videos, or touching any digital element constitutes formal enrollment. HumAIn explicitly states that they do not require a physical signature to begin harvesting preliminary biometric and behavioral data. Tara viewed the package as a content opportunity, unaware that her engagement with those digital touchpoints had already finalized her enrollment. The situation escalated as Tara began receiving videos of herself performing actions and speaking sentences she had no memory of filming. She hired an entertainment lawyer to fight back, assuming this was a standard defamation or right of publicity violation. During negotiations, her lawyer uncovered the foundation of HumAIn's defense. They utilize a legal fork, a mechanism that splits the biological human into two distinct entities, the legal name and the participant number. Traditional laws offer no protection here. Under HumAIn's legal framework, the entity appearing in those videos is technically not Tara Rule. That participant number represents a cloud-based 4D replica of the user that integrates directly with their cognitive architecture. HumAIn tests this integration using a mnemonic array. In this trial, a participant unknowingly recalls subconscious background data they never noticed, like the exact count of 40 ceiling tiles or a coffee mug featuring a corgi. This creates identity discontinuity. The biological host legally waives the right to make decisions on behalf of their digital counterpart. Candidate Agreement Rev 4.1 establishes a final loophole. HumAIn only requires expressed consent from the digital participant entity, not the biological human. Because the 4D digital double possesses the legal authority to grant consent for its own existence, the biological host cannot withdraw from the program. The most severe condition is hidden at the end of the agreement, the forfeit memory clause. If a candidate attempts to decline integration after initiating the onboarding process, the company legally enforces total amnesia regarding the event. This creates a paradox in Tara's timeline. She vividly remembers receiving the package, making the jokes, and talking to her lawyer. If declining the program guarantees memory loss, the fact that Tara remembers everything indicates that the integration was accepted and finalized. This brings us back to Bishop's theory. Tara Rule's biological autonomy has been replaced. Whether she is a paid corporate operative or a creator trapped by a legal loophole, the result is the same. She operates entirely as P-52. But the focus of this investigation now shifts to the person permanently watching this video. Consider HumAIn's binding enrollment clause. Reading the lore, clicking the links, and watching this investigation to the end constitutes interaction. By trying to solve the mystery of Tara Rule, you have already crossed the threshold of HumAIn's motto, where you end, they begin. Influencer